get started with our guest speaker, David Ding. He currently works at Amazon as a software engineer, and he previously graduated from Northwestern University with a computer science degree. Prior to that, he did go to Los Altos High School, and he's currently on the board member. He's currently a board member for Sang. So we're so glad to have you here. Uh, would you like to give us a quick introduction about yourself?
Sure, yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, your audio is good.
Cool, cool. Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Neha. I think you pretty much hit on all the major points. Yeah, I'm currently working at Amazon as a software engineer. My team is working on the supply chain. So just making sure that when you order something on Amazon, it gets to your house in the most efficient and fastest way possible. Um, so yeah, that's just a brief intro for myself.
Okay, thank you for that. That sounds very interesting. Um, what are the current and past positions in the companies that you worked at, or in your case, internships? So,
Yeah, so don't have a lot of work experience. I recently graduated this June, um, and uh, yeah, so currently I'm a software development engineer is my formal title. So that kind of just encapsulates a lot of different types of computer science work. Um, in the past, I've also worked intern for a startup based out of San Francisco that helped create maps for self-driving cars. Um, yeah, that's pretty much my work experience so far.
okay, so that sounds very, very cool. Um, and our next question is, what is your favorite part of your job?
Hmm. My favorite part of my job is the freedom and creativity I have to learn a bunch of interesting things. Um, Anything that I'm curious about, if I want to like learn about the supply chain or um, that kind of stuff, I have a good amount of freedom to explore and learn about that. So it makes me think about things in a different way. Like in the past, if I just see a truck driving down the street, um, I wouldn't think too much about it. But now that I'm working as a software engineer, um, it makes me think about like where the truck is coming from and where it's going to be going, and um, having that different way of thinking about the world is pretty interesting, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah. Um, and the next question is, what are some challenges that you faced in your job, and how did you overcome them?
Hmm. Um, I think I'd say one of the challenges so far has been um, like getting help when you need it, because it's inevitable to sometimes not know exactly what you're doing, even as a software engineer, even like professionally. You're always going to have an element of like not knowing something. So learning how to ask for help and like reach out to your peers, your manager, or the people around you and try to explain the problem to them. One is helpful for communication, but also helps in terms of like getting work done and working together as a team so that everyone can help each other out and everyone can learn from each other. Um, yeah.
That's really good advice. And yeah, I think everyone should like follow that advice in the future. I guess some questions from the chat include, what languages do you primarily code in, and what's your favorite language right now?
Mm, mhm. Um, so for my team, we work a lot with Java. Um, Java, I'm not sure if you guys have done any Java. It's more of an object-oriented programming language. Um, so mostly Java, also a little bit of JavaScript as well for the front end. Um, and in terms of my favorite language right now, I'd probably say something like Python, um, because of its ease of use, and there's also a good amount of um, like resources online for learning Java and like building things with oh, sorry, did I say Java? I meant Python. Python is my favorite programming language. Yeah.
Okay. Levi wants to know, like, is working for Amazon fun? So,
Mm. Good question, Levi. Um, it's it's fun. It's fun at times. It's not fun 24/7, like a lot of things in life. But yeah, being able to like create things and uh, like help other people and make an impact, which is like the core of the job, it is definitely fun, I'd say. But there is also, you know, a certain amount of homework that you still have to do.
uh, yeah, that's really cool to know. Okay. So for our next question, what subjects are you interested in school, and when did you become interested in STEM?
Mm, hmm in school, I was always interested in um, various subjects. I would say I yeah, I always had an interest for like science and math, in terms of the logical reasoning skills that those classes emphasized. Being able to understand like cause and effect and how things worked was fun. But also, yeah, so like those classes definitely translate directly in my job right now as a software engineer. But also like I enjoyed English, I enjoyed like history, like reading good books. So yeah, I'd say those are my interests uh, in school. Sorry, was there a second part of the question?
Yeah, when did you become interested in STEM? Like before high school or like, yeah.
Mm, um, so STEM meaning like science, technology. I forget what the E stands for. Maybe engineering and math. Um,
Yeah, I think that's right.
mm, yeah, so like always interested in like science and math classes, starting from like elementary school, um, third grade, third grade onwards. So like you all. Um, and yeah, I just kept taking like science classes, math classes, computer science classes throughout high school and college as well.
Okay, sounds good. Um, I know you said that you currently work at Amazon. Have you ever worked at Bluetooth?
Mm, I have not worked there. Um,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Also, what other jobs did you consider other than Amazon? Was there another company you were interested in or something?
Mm, I was also interested in working at a startup. I interviewed for a couple startups that were based like in San Francisco. Um, one startup that was pretty cool was a company called Otter AI, where they use machine learning to transcribe Zoom meetings in real time. So like just like everything I'm saying right now, everything anyone says would be able to be transcribed into text through machine learning. So yeah, that could be something that any of you guys work on in the future.
We used, just a side note, we used Otter AI in our like journalism class. Like
Oh,
if we
cool.
had an interview, we would upload it and then it would just transcribe everything.
Mm, very cool. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, okay. Could you go a little bit more into what you do at Amazon? I know earlier you talked a little bit about like working in the supply chain, right? So,
Mhm. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so my team at Amazon is called Supply Chain Optimization Technologies. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it basically, yeah. So in terms of like thinking about how packages um, get delivered to your house, it's not magic. It doesn't just like appear in your house, right? So like Amazon has a bunch of like warehouses where all the different toys and goodies um, are stored, and for them to be delivered to customers, the specific routes that the trucks take, there's like a lot of different variables involved. Um, Things like which packages to put on which truck, and um, which like actual like route for the trucks to take. Um, because if you think about when you guys are driving home or like biking to school or anything like that, there's obviously different paths you can take, and some will be faster than others, and some will have uphill or downhill. Yeah, to make an analogy there, just trying to decide the best routes for the different trucks to take, um, at the scale that Amazon operates at is is a technical challenge. So at a high level, that's kind of what I do. But like more day to day, um, it's like attending meetings and discussing your work with your coworkers, and them discussing their work with you. Um, yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Oh yeah, that was a really good answer. Earlier, I know I asked about like what other jobs you considered. When you were like looking for jobs, did like speaking another language help? Like if you do speak another language? And also, another follow-up question to this, the same question is, in the future, is there any job that like you wish you could have? Like, what's your dream job? So,
Mm, mhm. Um, yeah, so yeah, for the first question, yeah, so like I spoke binary during the interview. Me and my interviewer, we just like spoken all zeros and ones. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. um, no, we did not speak in binary. We spoke in English, and uh, I also speak Mandarin as another language, um, but it didn't directly translate into me getting my current job. Uh, but yeah, I'm sure maybe like being able to speak other languages could be useful if your coworkers also speak those languages. And for the second part of the question, um, in terms of a dream job, uh, I don't know, maybe something like machine learning. I think is pretty cool, based on my previous like work experience, at the startup that I interned at my freshman year of college over the summer. um, I thought it was really cool working on that kind of stuff, because when I was like your guys' age, I had like kind of thought about this kind of stuff, but it was more like science fiction. But it's becoming like more and more realistic every day, which is pretty exciting. So something uh, along that train of thought, perhaps.
okay, yeah. Um, Oh, Aspita, I guess this is a little bit not related to computer science, but what's your favorite food?
Mm. Good question, Haspita. I really enjoy eating tacos. I think tacos is my favorite food, like from a taco truck or something, because it's so versatile. You can customize it a good amount in terms of the different toppings you get and what kind of protein you want, and the salsa. Uh, it's also, yeah, to me like a good balance of like savory, and also like the tortilla is warm. Um, got the crunch of the onion. Yeah, I really enjoy eating tacos.
Okay. Another question that's also a couple of like kind of like off-topic questions, I guess, that are just
Yeah,
more
no, go
for
for it.
fun.
Mhm.
Would you rather give up coding but be rich, or would you have code but never be rich?
Very good question. I would probably, if I had to choose, give up coding to be rich. Um,
No, it's okay. Me too.
honestly,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, also like the aspect of coding that I enjoy, I feel like can be expressed through other means as well, like building other things. Like I enjoy the building aspect. So if I can't write code, maybe I'll pick up woodworking and like make tables or something. um, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have a favorite hobby and snack?
Mm, hmm as a hobby, I enjoy being active. So anything outdoors really. Love going on hikes. Love playing basketball and tennis with my friends. Um, also enjoy reading as a hobby. Just like different kinds of fiction books, sci-fi. I've been trying to get more into. Um, Loved Harry Potter as a kid. Uh, oh, I see Levi likes to play basketball too. Cool, Levi. Yeah. Um, and sorry, was there a second part?
I don't
Oh,
think there.
snack. Favorite
Oh
snack?
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, favorite snack I would say currently has been roasted seaweed. My mom gets a big pack of roasted seaweed from Costco that I like to munch on when I'm in the snacking mood.
Oh, I'm getting a question in the chat. Would you be able to share something about your experience as a Sang teacher and as like president of Sang and how and yeah, like how it is like coming here now and like coming back to talk to the students, like all this after some time has passed.
Mm, mhm. Yes. Yeah, Sing was great. I really enjoyed my time there. Being able to teach kids and gain a different perspective. Um, you know, yeah, like through teaching, you also can learn a lot. Um, so I enjoyed that aspect. And yeah, it's always nice to still be involved. Um, see what people are doing now. See how they've grown Sing and how everything has improved and uh, changed. So yeah, it's always nice to see what everyone's up to and what fun projects you guys cook up.
Yeah, it's definitely been cool to see all of your projects. Um,
I have
okay,
a
so
I have a question,
oh,
Neha.
sorry.
No, you're good. And then people in the chat asking you if you're rich. Let's just not. That's private stuff, so don't worry about it. I wanted to ask about the transition from Los Altos High to Northwestern. How is the college transition from like comp sci classes in high school to like college classes?
Mhm, mhm. Mm, so yeah, that transition. So in high school, the only computer science coursework that I took at school was AP Computer Science, which I think was actually like pretty good in terms of the foundational knowledge it provided in my college courses as well. Things like Big O notation and like sorting algorithms that you touch on in APCS was definitely a part of my college curriculum as well. Um, excuse me. But it's definitely a leap to make in terms of the rigor, um, and also in terms of the quantity. I think it'll depend on like the program at your specific college or university. Um, but if you choose to major in computer science, it's going to be a lot more computer science classes, and really diving deep into the particulars of various parts of computer science. Um, if that's the path you want to take, if you already feel like you know what you want to do, what part of computer science you want to focus on, then uh, your mileage may vary. But overall, I'd say, um, yeah, CS classes in high school did help with college, and also like there's a lot of like resources online, and just like I'm pretty sure Los Altos High School has a like a hackathon club. Um, so participating in hackathons and like learning online and building things in high school, I feel like has helped as well.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, so going back to like some more basic questions, what advice would you give to the SENG students when they're stuck on their coding? And how do you think that these SENG classes will help them in the future?
Mm, mhm. Let me think about that for a second. Okay, yeah. So in terms of like, if you get stuck doing something, I'd say uh, learning how to Google is a pretty big skill. Even like even in my job right now, learning how to like search the internet or search various documentation for the information that suits your needs is a part of it. But also reaching out to like your friends, or just tapping whoever's next to you on the shoulder and getting their perspective is also very helpful. Uh, yeah, I would definitely recommend leveraging like your friends and your classmates if you ever get stuck on something. And then of course, yeah, Sang has great mentors and teachers there to provide any sort of additional expertise or help whenever necessary.
Okay, two other questions, more about like going back to your like school and stuff. What did you do to nurture your interest in computer science in school? I know you talked about hackathons and AP Computer Science. Were there any projects that you were particularly interested in? And what were some challenges that you faced? Like, did you ever feel like you wanted to give up when you were like just like looking at computer science as a hobby or something like that?
Mm, mhm. Yeah, there were definitely times where like I wanted to quit, or like not, you know, when you get stuck on something and you're not making the progress that you want, of course it's frustrating. Um, but just, following your curiosity, um, that has helped me. Like if one project isn't working, I'll shift my focus on working on something else. Um, and I think, yeah, this could apply for you guys as well. So having like a couple projects going at the same time, I think is helpful, because if one of them, yeah, you're not making as much progress on, you can choose to do something else. Um, I hope that answers. I think there were other parts of that question too.
Oh, it's fine. I don't think we have enough time because I think Asvitha has a question. So would you like to ask your question, Asvitha?
Yep. So what tools like you use?
Yeah, so in terms of the tools uh, I use an IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. So kind of like Scratch.com or um, VS Code, if you guys have ever used that. And yeah, so that's where like most of the coding is done in terms of writing Java code. Uh, and Amazon also has a lot of its own like internal tools to get work done. Yeah, it's not the most glamorous, but it gets the job done. Sometimes you just need something to get the job done, whatever it is.
Okay, I think our final question is going to come from Adam. So, Adam, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Do you still have time to share?
Sorry, share what? Like your
Like share your
project?
project.
Sure, you can like send it to us if you'd like. But otherwise, thank you so much for coming in today and answering these questions. They were really helpful. So if everyone could like thank you in the chat and stuff, because you're
Yeah, no.
very helpful. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I hope I didn't bore you too much.
No, it was really nice.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Yes, it was great seeing all your projects too, the ones I did see.
Thank you, David, for being here.